Hi, Neil Comper here, Sales Director at Prospr. What I'd like to do over the next 5 minutes is give you a very quick overview of the power of Prospr. So what you'll see on your screen here at the moment is our marketing site, and behind the site you'll see an example here of the valuation lead magnet that would sit on your website in your branding. And when a user actually wants an instant valuation, the report that they would get very quickly would look very similar to this report here. You'll see that we automatically, in your branding and your communication details, give a report the valuation, and these valuation sources are taken from many different data sets, so we know that the valuation is accurate. As an investor or a landlord, I can switch between either buying, selling, or renting. I also get information of the sold history of the property, the location, nearby properties on the market, and of course nearby sold properties as well. But where it gets really interesting, of course, is the dashboard for you to manage leads as an estate agent. So what you're looking at now is the dashboard itself, giving me an overview of what I've had over the last 30 days, and also where specifically my leads are coming from. So whether people are curious or indeed wanting to sell or looking at property to buy. And then I can manage these leads through the toolbar on the left, going through to these in much more detail. So you'll be able to see now that I can filter these and progress them through the system from pending to warm leads, or indeed disqualify them. And I've got all of the information that I need for every lead that I've had, contact details, and specifically the property they've looked at. The other thing that you're able to do going through the filters on the left is to be able to do an area search. So you'll see here I've typed in PO16. So this is really good for valuations before you go. And you'll see that it gives me information about the local area itself, even all the way down to flood risk and so on. What's recently been sold within the postcode that I've selected, the market stats, so what's actually happening within the market, which obviously makes you much more knowledgeable in the local area. Places of interest, these are fairly typical, but of course we also include historic buildings and indeed listed buildings and so on and so forth. And the demographics. Demographics are really important for the type of market that you are operating in, and indeed that you might want to actually capture. And finally on this report here is a market share of every estate agent within the area. So you'll be able to see and show, especially when you're doing extremely well in an area, how you're doing to potential vendors. Now, the other thing is that you are able to get much more detailed information here through our Elasticsearch product. You can see here through our search bar, what I've done is typed in the road, this property that I'm going to visit, and you'll see that as an estate agent, you get an awful lot more information about the property, which is really good for valuations, but also for buyers and sellers. You'll see here that I'll show you in just a moment, you can generate buyer's reports and a seller's report, really powerful. We give you information on the utilities within the area, so that obviously gives you a head start. You're able to manage the number of inquiries that you've had on a property, so this one has been really quite of interest to a lot of people, and any reports that you've produced actually will be stored within the system. So just give you an example of a report here. So here is actually a buyer's report, and so this is at the click of a button you will be able to comprehensively give information about the property, including photographs, property details, images, floor plans, sold history, and all of this is in your branding. So therefore you'll be able to give this to a potential vendor that would have come from an applicant that's interested in buying one of your properties that hasn't listed yet. And in the same way, you're able to see a seller's report as well, which is really good for when you're actually going to do valuations, showing that you know an awful lot more about the market, giving you a heads up. Now, the next steps are really simple. All that you would need to do is go and book yourself a demo. But a point to note is we are part of the residential people group. So I'm sure you're familiar with our website. So we are able to, of our 4,000 agents already, give them exclusivity on leads that come into your local area. So all that you need to do is let us know about that, and we'll be delighted to help you. So a quick summary, all that you need to do to go and get a demo is go and visit prospr.co.uk, book yourself a demo. There's all the information that you would need to actually get before you book a demo, and we would love to see you on our system, and we'd be delighted to give you a demonstration. Thank you very much. See you soon.